What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Intoxicated Sports Reports. I'm Emerson Hip, he's Gay Timoji, and we have a very awesome guest in the peanut gallery tonight, Sal Olvera.
What up?
Thanks for joining us. Glad you reached out.
Yeah, thank you. I miss
It's
you guys.
always nice to have another voice on the pod.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, we're watching a little Warriors basketball come down the home stretch this game against the Rockets. Last game of the season before the All-Star break, that is. And they're up 9 with about 3 minutes left. They had a 20-something point lead at one point.
And they tried their best to lose that lead, but they didn't.
I think they got within 1, was it? Yeah.
And this is going to be a pretty good win, given, they're up by...
It's not over.
Okay, so I won't say yet.
Because, I say...
Okay, now it's 91-98, you're right.
Yeah, like I always say with the Warriors, they'll build a lead, but they always find a way to make it interesting.
If the Warriors do win, it'll be a good win, because the Rockets are good.
Yeah.
And I'm still not used to that.
I know, me neither.
Because I know the Rockets were good when we were, post-high school a little bit.
James Harden,
Chris
Dwight
Paul,
Howard.
the whole thing. And then they stunk for a good amount after that. But now they're good again. So shout out to them, and this will be a good win for the Warriors if they win.
Yes, it would be a nice one. Although Rockets struggling a little bit lately, I saw they only won 3 of their last 10 games, but nonetheless.
But they're probably still top 5 seed in the
Ooh,
West.
travel. Yeah, I think they're 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
Yeah. Surprisingly good team this year. They got a lot of good young players.
Yeah, they're probably a couple years away
Right.
still.
Şengün made the All-Star team. I can't remember if they had one other guy get in there or not. But I know
Green didn't make it?
No.
No.
Jalen Green, I don't even know if he puts up big numbers or not. I mean, he's a good athlete and all that, but
I saw him play against the Kings, a couple weeks ago, and I was like, this guy's pretty damn good.
yeah,
He's got the athleticism for sure.
yeah. And he's a product of prolific prep.
Prolific prep,
Yeah.
that's right. Unlike the other guy. Who was the other guy who came there? Who was
Oh yeah, Josh Jackson.
Josh Jackson.
He was like top 5 pick.
He was.
Just kind of flamed out.
And he just...
Didn't he get in some legal trouble too?
He might have.
Yeah.
He just wasn't what I'm sure he wasn't what he thought he was going to be.
Right.
Which unfortunately happens.
Yeah.
What are we drinking today, boys?
I am the only one drinking booze. I got a nice Trumer Pils to start off with.
Yes,
Got a Sierra Nevada on deck as well.
I miss those.
What about you guys?
Sal and I are drinking Biros.
More beer?
Are we rolling with Biro?
I think it's Biro.
Biro.
It's gotta be
We're
Biro.
rolling with Biro. Okay.
I don't want to hear anyone say anything else.
Sal, like me, is taking a nice little hiatus from drinking. I like how Sal's doing it. How was dry January for you?
It was fine. I usually only drink Sundays after my Sunday league games. So, but I want to try these because I hear it on the pod all the time. So
And you like it? You're trying the hazy?
it's really good. Yeah,
It's going down quick there.
Yeah,
And I'm drinking the Noon Wheat, which out of the 3 is probably the worst, but they got to get drink, so that's what I'm here for.
And you haven't drank this year?
Right? Yeah, not at all.
So you guys are both on the same.
Technically, I have.
Yeah.
If you want to really want
Yeah.
Like
We're not getting technical. It's all
past
good.
midnight on the 31st, but it's okay. Yeah. You miss it a little bit, though. I gotta say, miss it. But this helps.
That scratches your itch a
It
little
scratches
bit.
the itch.
Great
100%.
substitute. Yeah.
Absolutely. And Sal, if you need your other one anytime soon, let me know.
I think
I'll
he's
take
ready
it now.
for it. I think he's ready for it.
And you wanted the pills, correct?
Yes. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
One thing I'm very excited about today's show, first edition NBA contender rankings, and Sal's going to join us in doing that as well.
I think he's a basketball head.
He's a basketball head.
Yeah.
Also, of course, we're recapping the Super Bowl.
Wasn't much of a game.
Putting a bow on the football season. Yeah, that game stunk.
Were we just talking about, too, how we've been lucky with such good Super Bowls?
We have, and I think since that, we've kind of jinxed it. Not that, obviously last year's went to overtime. That was a great Super Bowl.
Even the one before that was good.
And the one before that was good.
The one that stunk before this one was the Chiefs-Tampa one.
Yeah, one stunk.
That one stunk.
Yeah, and then, of course, we had the Seahawks. This is 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks, when they blew out the Broncos.
But, yeah, for the most part, we've been blessed with good.
I would say we're on at least a 2 out of 3 hit rate in our, in the last 20 years.
Because even the Rams-Bengals one, you look at the final score, and I forgot how close it was.
Well, the Bengals had the ball with the chance to tie, I guess, right? I don't remember exactly what the score
I
was,
think,
but
what was
were
it?
they down 7
was
or
it
8?
Aaron Donald? Then he almost stacked Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow.
Did Joe Burrow got sacked 8 or 9 times in that fucking game?
Yeah.
I felt bad for the guy.
Yeah. I don't feel bad for Joe Burrow.
No, well, felt bad for him in that situation. How's the pills?
It's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's smooth and it's probably gonna drink this one fast too.
Well, if you have to go out of the garage and
Yeah.
get more, feel free. It's not a big deal.
We can do that.
Thank you.
So we jump into the Super Bowl?
Let's do it.
Light it up, Gage.
Eagles beat the Chiefs 40-22, and it wasn't even this close.
No.
If you ask me. Eagles led 24-0 at half, 34-0 late in the third quarter. Mahomes, it's kind of what he does in the Super Bowl. I mean, yes, he has won some.
Yeah.
And he has lost some, but he turns the ball over. He had 3 turnovers, and he was sacked 6 times.
Yeah.
MVP of the game, Jalen Hurts, 3 total touchdowns, 293 total yards. And Hurts becomes the 4th quarterback to win the Super Bowl after losing it on his first appearance.
Yeah.
So he joins Len Dawson, Bob Greasy, and John Elway.
Who did it most recently?
We did it most recently.
Yeah.
Which is
That's an interesting feat.
It's an amazing stat.
Yeah.
That it's almost like if you go and you lose the first time, you're pretty much not. Which doesn't bode well for like someone like Brock Purdy, which I think could still win one.
Sure.
I know the Niners, the franchise or not the franchise,
the current window.
The current like roster isn't what it could have been. What it was like 2 years ago. Or
Sure.
last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
But you look at that stat with Brock Purdy, you're like, man, do we already need to move on?
Right.
I mean, I know it's neither here nor there.
Oh, Draymond, clutch.
But congrats to Jalen Hurts. Man,
I got a little proclamation about Jalen Hurts here.
Okay.
In our lifetime of, I'll just say the last 25 years of, Super Bowl history, he's like one of the all-time performers at the quarterback position.
Because he played a great game 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I got numbers.
Thank you.
I got numbers.
You usually do.
But yeah, if you think about, like, especially the guys that you consider that have made multiple appearances too, like, he has to be up there.
Jalen Hurts now has the same amount of Super Bowl wins as Aaron Rodgers. Just let that sink in.
Yeah. And more appearances.
That's all I'm saying.
And he has the same amount of appearances as Big Ben? No, he's got one less. Yeah. One less, because Big Ben's got 2, plus a loss.
I mean, he's got the same amount as, like, I don't know, Russell Wilson, if that means anything.
Right.
I mean, Russell Wilson was good. He was good for a long time. I mean, he tormented your Niners for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, so in his 2 games, 73% completion percentage, 677 total yards between rushing and passing, accounted for. 7 total touchdowns and just 2 turnovers, 109 passer rating.
And that's in the 2 games that he's played.
The 2 games he's played in the Super Bowl.
It's incredible.
He's a guy that, because when we think about Jalen Hurts as a regular season player, I mean, above average, but not like elite, right?
Yeah.
Just like, probably a little bit outside that elite.
Did someone call him the touchdown merchant?
Yeah, he really is. He just stealing him from Saquon all year.
Someone who has Saquon on their fantasy team like you did, know all about that.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Hurts, is he the best quarterback in the NFC?
That is a good question. I think a lot of people would still put Stafford in that conversation.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
He's better than Dak Prescott, I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah.
100%. He's the best quarterback in the NFC East.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott is probably right now, as it stands, the 3rd best quarterback in the NFC East.
At best, yeah. Well, he's definitely better than the Giants got.
Yes,
but yeah, but he's not better than Jaden Daniels. Well, we got jury's, I guess, still out on Jaden Daniels, sophomore slump sort of thing. Yes, we all know that. But,
I'm saying just as it stands right now.
Yeah,
that's where Dak is.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, in the NFC, I would say Stafford is the only one that comes. I mean, Jared Goff, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm on the fence on Jared Goff.
Isn't it funny that the Rams gave the Eagles their closest game of the postseason?
Yeah.
They played them the best.
Yeah.
At the link.
And I think that tells you how good of a coach Sean McVay is and how prepared he had that team.
Absolutely. So yeah, Jalen Hurts, I have respected you, but now it's like you're a Super Bowl champion. Like I have to. Yeah. You'll have that forever, and now I have to. I don't know. Like when the Cowboys played the Eagles and Jalen Hurts in the regular season, it's just like, it's Jalen Hurts.
Right.
But he's proven now that he is a worthy champion, and he's by far one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC.
Yeah.
All together, it's a different story. Like both conferences.
Because I think there's the group of 4 that we always talk about, and they're all in the AFC. They just happen to be that
Mahomes.
way. Jeff Gordon's at the game. Or not. He looks a little different.
Mahomes, Allen,
Burrow,
and
Lamar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, say Lamar last, bro.
There's the Fab 4 right now.
I said Mahomes first. Saquon, he set the single season record for rushing yards and yards from scrimmage. Congrats to him.
Yep, hell of a season.
Hell of a season.
All-timer.
First season with the Eagles. I remember sitting in Dev's car. We're waiting for Theo to get out of preschool. it was like towards the end of that school year, I think last year, and it was like, oh, the Saquon joined the Eagles, and I was just, I didn't see this coming the first year, but I was not happy at all. I'll never forget where I was for that. And I was like, Saquon's going to the Eagles? This is bad news. This is bad news for not only me, but everybody else in the NFC.
I remember liking the move, and it kind of made me think just on paper, like, oh, the Eagles they're going to be back in the mix for a championship this year. Mm-hmm. But I had my doubts about, of course, Nick Sirianni and just like the culture inside that locker room as a whole. You know, AJ Brown's, he's had his time of being a whiny whiteout.
Well, that's another person like Sirianni. He's a Super Bowl winning head coach.
Isn't it fucking weird to say? He looked like such a clown during the whole last season. And if you think about his press conference, he was like, seemed like he didn't belong in the room, No.
But now, so I was talking about 2 weeks ago, how does Kellen Moore want to stay as the OC? So maybe Sirianni could run his way out of the team and the franchise. Right. That's not going to happen anymore. No. Sirianni's going to be the head coach of this team probably for the next 5 years at the least. And why wouldn't he?
Yeah, but it's interesting to think about because remember Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl and then 3 years later he was gone.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's in Philadelphia they have high expectations and the leash is probably shorter there than anywhere else.
Yeah, the second Super Bowl and fifth championship in Eagles franchise history. No.
Fifth NFL championship, or five if you can include their 3 NFL championships.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then two Super Bowls, of course.
Gotcha. I don't really care about NFL championships.
Yeah, I mean, I don't put a ton of stock into those either.
Count them,
But I think is that their 5th appearance in the Super Bowl?
4th? So I want to say 4. Yeah, it is 5th. Yeah, because they won 2 now, and then McNabb lost one. And then Ron Jaworski lost one to the Raiders.
Is that 4?
And then Jalen Hurts lost one.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So congrats to the I wasn't rooting for you at all. I can't.
No.
With the Eagles.
Yeah.
Definitely rooting for the Chiefs. I know, whatever. But they kicked ass in this game.
Yeah.
The Chiefs. First of all, the Eagles played the dream game that every fan wants their team to play in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just total domination on the line of scrimmage on defense and then unstoppable on offense.
When I was watching the Chiefs, it looked like, and I'm sure people have said this already, it looked like the Monstars had taken their powers away.
Oh, 100%.
There was nothing the Chiefs could do to get in that game.
Yeah.
And you got to give it to the defense because the defense played out of their mind. The defensive line dominated this game.
Yeah.
This, to me, was the second version of the Tampa Chiefs Super Bowl that I mentioned earlier. It was the same thing. The game.
I think the only thing that made this worse is that Mahomes also played bad on top of that.
Yeah.
Because he didn't play that bad. He just was running for his life against the Bucs, right?
Yeah, like you said, that was arguably that's probably one of Pat Mahomes' worst games he's ever played.
I've never seen him just look so lost out there before.
No,
in the pocket.
It looked like to me, this really looked like a team that was at their 3rd straight Super Bowl and kind of walked in, just seemed like, we're gonna get this.
Yeah, we know how it goes.
Yeah, we know how it goes.
We're gonna be in the game in the 4th quarter and we're gonna win.
And that wasn't the case.
Not at all.
The Eagles came in like a team that lost to this same team, give or take, 2 years ago, and they wanted their revenge, and they got it.
Right. Yeah. No. They stepped on the throat, and that's exactly what you have to do against the Chiefs. You cannot give them any life.
Yeah. The offensive line they need to work on. Travis Kelce looked old.
He did. Yeah.
Did not look good, and maybe that was part of the defense. Maybe give them credit for stopping him, but he just didn't. It just looked like the Chiefs. It looked like the whole team had their heads somewhere else.
Yeah. It's almost like the offensive line was like still drunk from the night before or something.
I know.
It was really weird.
I get this is their 5th appearance. 5th appearance,
yeah.
In the last 7 years.
Yeah. And a lot of playoff
probably
games.
Takes a toll, but geez, you really decide to take a shit on this game this week. It just, especially the season that they had, they essentially lost 1 game with their starters.
Yeah.
And maybe that was a big part of it, that they won all these games that were so close.
They just were drained.
And it finally caught up to them.
Yeah.
And they couldn't come back from this kind of a deficit.
Well, because for the most part, like that game they lost to the Bills handled them. That was the only way they could lose, is if they just were outmatched on the field.
And if you ask me, when I knew the game was over, Cooper DeJean pick 6.
Oh,
I thought that was when the game.
Yeah, that's when I was like, this is not looking good.
Because before that, I think they were like on their own 5-yard line after a punt.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, they're going to go down, score a touchdown, get the ball back after the half, possibly tie it or take the lead, and then the pick 6 happened, and that was it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I kind of thought like when the Eagles were the first team to score in the second half, I was like, this is not looking good for because they couldn't get anything going on offense. So.
I mean, I guess you could debate the Devontae Smith long touchdown pass catch.
That too that was the full dagger.
That was like the nail in the coffin. But to me, the Cooper DeJean, who I did not know was an Iowa Hawkeye, shout out.
Yes, sir.
That was good for him.
Remember when the Niners drafted him, but they didn't?
Yeah.
What?
We should have.
On draft day, I think Sal sent something like fake update, like draft update that the Niners had picked him.
Yeah.
Kind of wish we did at this point.
I wish, yeah.
So Pat Mahomes, 3-2 in Super Bowls. It's not bad, not great. He's not above Joe Montana yet, in my opinion. I think it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that Tom Brady, after his first 5, was also 3-2.
Okay.
So, there's that.
Yeah.
Tom Brady had a really good later end of his career, as we all know.
Sure.
Pat Mahomes apparently can't win when Tom Brady's in the building. You made this good point. Lost to him in the, 2019 AFC Championship?
Yep.
Lost to him, obviously, in the Super Bowl a few years ago. And Tom Brady called this game. So maybe it's just...
There's a little...
like, everyone
little
thinks...
bad juju.
Yeah. Like, I saw that tweet, like, Mahomes... Like you see black magic when you really come up against black magic with Tom Brady. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say Mahomes can't be still like the greatest of all time. I don't think it's a premature GOAT debate because I think he's
no
at that point.
Yeah.
But let's just not forget Tom Brady did not win a Super Bowl for a 10-year gap.
Yeah, which is pretty wild to think about.
Yeah, lost the 2 after they won 3 and 4 years or 3 and 5 years.
3 and 4, yeah.
So Mahomes, it's just I think he still has a few more appearances, I think, in him.
Oh, yeah.
And
For
probably,
sure.
probably could have 2 more wins in him.
Yeah.
But I just don't... I'd hate for him to keep going. Kind of like how LeBron went to so many and lost so many.
Yeah.
I don't...
That would hurt his legacy a little bit.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still impressive nonetheless, and he's already a Hall of Famer. If he retired today, he'd go to the Hall of Fame.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I'd hate to see him keep going and keep losing because it's just not good for the legacy.
I have this weird feeling that the next half of his career is going to be pretty underwhelming in comparison to what we've seen so far.
Really?
I know that they've gone a different route when it came to roster building over the last few years. Like, they got rid of Tyreek Hill. They've been willing to just, have a makeshift receiving group, and just have Travis Kelce be the guy. But Travis Kelce's not going to be around forever. Andy Reid's not going to be around for the rest of Patrick Mahomes' career.
I'm sure he's going to try his best.
He's going to try, but, I mean...
You think he's going to be there for at least 5 more years?
Yeah, I would say it's comfortably 3, and then 5 would not shock me. Yeah. And you look at the numbers are diminished in the regular season. And sure, he's been amazing at finding ways to win games, but that in a way I don't want to call it luck, but because you make your luck, but it just how sustainable is that forever?
Yeah.
And there's always going to be somebody else that's going to be a challenger. I mean. He already has 3 of the best quarterbacks in the league in his own conference.
Yeah.
So,
but he seems to always beat them in the playoffs.
He does
as of right now.
To this point, but I'm just wondering when that luck runs out.
Yeah. When it comes to the future of the Chiefs, I think they're still going to be a perennial playoff team
for sure,
and I think they can still make deep playoff runs and still make it to Super Bowls
next year. And they're going to do some movement in the offseason.
They have to.
Yeah.
Like, do I think they could be like the Buffalo Bills and go to 4 straight? Yeah, I think they could go to another one next year. Will they win it? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I feel like after seeing the Eagles beat them, people are like, oh, wait, like they're... It's like in Rocky 4 when Rocky makes Drago bleed.
Yeah.
He's like, he's human. He can bleed,
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things. People, it's like eye-opening that, like, wow, they could actually be beat on the biggest stage.
Right. I just, I could eat my words, but if he didn't win more than 1 more in his career, I wouldn't be that shocked.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't be.
Yeah.
I could see him ending with 4 titles to his name.
Yeah.
Which is still...
Which is a hell of a career.
Hell yeah.
No one would be upset about it, but I think to this point, people who analyze the game have put so much expectation on his career because he's done so much, and that's how amazing he's been.
Because you once said that you thought he could surpass Brady in Super Bowls.
I thought it was realistic to think
And
that.
you think that you think
and I
that's
think it's still a possibility.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't think, and I've said this before, I don't think he could win 8 Super Bowls.
It's going to be hard. Yeah.
Like, if he would have already won 5, then it's like, okay, it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Maybe even this one, like, okay, can he win 4 more? Maybe.
It's hard to put so much stock into one game, but Sunday, a little more doubt crept into that conversation.
Yeah. I could see him at the most getting 6.
Right? Like you wouldn't bet on anything more than that.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think I would. I really don't think I would. I could like, if I'm putting money down on it, I think he could win 5.
Yeah.
And that'd be it.
Yeah.
Which would be a fantastic career. You know what I mean? And for the future of the Eagles, I mean, they're young, they're good.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts, you didn't hear me say it, but I found out yesterday that he's only 26, and then I got really sad. Because I didn't realize, because you hear him talk, and he has just this, he's like an old soul, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like he's much older than he actually is.
He is very good at the mic, and,
Very calm, cool, and collected.
very calm, yeah. I just love, he's like, it's kind of got Mark Jackson vibes, like with his cliches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mark Jackson. Oh man.
I mean, Sal, who you got as like, especially like on the Chiefs side, like what their outlook is in the next, like, let's just say 3 years. I mean, are they still the team to beat, obviously, or is it a little deeper than that?
If they don't revamp the offensive line, I think like I could see where you say like he might not win like as many as you guys thought at first.
Right.
Just because like I mean that's always kind of been the blueprint of beating him is just putting constant pressure on him, making him make the mistakes, and because he's prone to those mistakes the way he plays,
For sure.
kind of like Brett Favre, a little bit gunslinger. But yeah, and then Eagles as far as their future, if their defense is all young and Jalen Hurts is 26, so yeah,
And Saquon's probably, 27?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe.
I mean, what more also does Saquon need to do to like be an all timer? Does like one more?
Saquon's 28.
Yeah, one more season like that's like 80% as good as what he did this year.
Yeah, do you think he's already a Hall of Famer?
Because I think he's like right there. Because if you look, and this might have been the cherry on top, honestly, like the Super Bowl and this, him having an all-time season. Because if you think about like Terrell Davis, he didn't play that long, and he only had 3 like elite seasons.
Yeah,
but I think in those 3 elite seasons, I think he won MVP.
Yep, and then
2 Super Bowls, and I think a Super Bowl MVP
Right,
on top of that.
right.
Which if that's the case, Saquon has to do a little more to get that.
Sure thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or he can just accumulate stats. I think
Yeah.
the 1 Super Bowl that he has now is going to weigh heavy.
Oh, for sure.
The 2,000 rushing yards. I think I'd love to see the list of people that have had 2K in the season and who are in the Hall of Fame. 'Cause I'm sure
Right.
like CJ, like Chris Johnson's not in there.
Yeah. Jamal Lewis is
Jamal
not.
Lewis is not in there. So maybe that's a bad comp. But
Yeah.
I like to think a good amount of them probably are in the Hall of Fame.
Right. I think, but I think if you do a 2,000-yard season and you also have like a handful of good seasons around that, that's got to put you in the mix.
Yeah. Also, I'll give a shout out to the Chiefs because they did. What did we say 2 weeks ago? You got to stop 26.
Yeah.
And they I think he had 40 yards.
57, I think, was his total for the game, but on 25 carries. So,
Yeah.
But counterpoint though is you could tell he sold out for the run, and they left those receivers on one-on-one with their corners, and they got burned a couple of times.
So it's. But they let Jalen Hurts beat them.
They did, and he sure did.
Yeah.
What do you boys think about the halftime show? I know you guys are big Kendrick guys, especially you.
Yes.
How do you think of his performance?
So I had a bold prediction that he'd bring Lil Wayne out. That didn't happen. And I think, looking back, that's a drinkable offense. So I put an IOU on that one for you. How about that?
Good,
Nice.
good.
An IOU on that
Yeah,
one.
take
Definitely.
In the moment, I didn't really enjoy it because I had some people talking my ear off. And,
Yappers.
I'm not going to name any names 'cause I love the guys, but they were talking. I'm just literally outside watching it because they had a 2 TV thing, one in the living room, one outside.
Yeah.
And then one outside was quick.
But ahead.
Ahead.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to watch it.
Sure.
And I wanted to watch the game out there because I'm not going to.
You're not going to be the one.
I know if I know that one's quicker.
Yeah.
Or before,
Yeah.
I'm going to go out there and watch it.
Right.
Until it got out of hand, and then whatever.
Sure.
But overall, in the moment, I gave it probably 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10. And then I watched it again on YouTube, and I could actually focus on it.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was really good. I thought the choreography was good. I thought the way it was all set up was really good. I thought Samuel Jackson cameo was nice.
Yeah, that was kind of
Serena Williams crip walking, I thought was a good little shot of Drake.
I don't know. I don't know how I missed that. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But I rewatched it on YouTube as well.
Oh yeah.
And I thought it was good. I think. Do people forget already that he performed a little bit like 3 years ago with Dr. Dre?
That's right.
So he didn't play like songs like Mad City or All Right because he performed that there, and I wouldn't expect him, the kind of artist that he is, to redo that. Mm-hmm. He focused more on his newer albums like Damn, and I don't know if he did any Mr. Morale because a lot of that stuff wasn't very hype.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of his GNX stuff, which is his newest album, which Sal and I both like very much. But I thought it was good. I thought him and SZA sounded good. I also liked how he didn't bring out a ton of other artists, which I think, he could have brought out like Schoolboy Q and did like Collard Greens, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which kind of could have been fun.
Yeah.
But I don't think he wanted to make it seem like another pop-out show that he did.
Yeah.
Like he did right after.
I agree. I don't like a ton of features. Yeah. I think that's
like that one. Like that 1 year was it Coldplay, Bruno, and Beyonce?
Yeah,
Super Bowl 50. I was like,
and didn't the Chili Peppers do one with someone else
with
too?
Bruno.
With Bruno, yeah.
And then like when Maroon 5 did it, and they brought out Travis Scott. And I'm like,
what the fuck?
I'm like, what is this going on? Like,
I don't even remember that, honestly.
Yeah, that was the
that is super fucking
the Patriots Rams. Super Bowl from a few
I wasn't
years
locked
ago.
in on that game.
Yeah, that game stunk too. Well, it was close, but it stunk.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was good. I thought it was very Kendrick the way he did it. All these cryptic messages that people always like, look into and all that. And I thought it was, my dumbass thought he was going to bring out Taylor Swift to do Bad Blood. And there was not one white person on that field, and I don't care about that. I should have known he was going to bring out the whitest bitch on the planet for the song, because they have Bad Blood together, the song.
The remix.
And I thought he was going to take another shot at Drake, and he did take some shots at Drake during the performance.
Yeah.
But I liked it. It was worth the hype, I think. I didn't think he was going to play Not Like Us. I kind of thought he wouldn't. Not surprised that he did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I kind of thought he wouldn't want to give Drake that kind of airplay.
Sure,
even though Drake doesn't need any airplay because it's Drake.
Yeah. I mean, just him performing in general. It's like getting Drake notoriety.
Yeah, and I also hate how people were taking videos of people in the stands and no one was really about it. And I'm like, who is about the halftime show?
Yeah.
Like, most people are there for the game.
Yeah.
I love to know anybody who buys a ticket for the show itself.
Oh no! If you're one of those people, you're stupid rich or you're just an idiot.
They do the halftime show for the Super Bowl for the people watching on television.
Right.
That's exactly what it's for.
100%.
Yep.
But I liked it. I thought it was very good. What about you, Sal?
Yeah, I liked it. Like I said, Gage and I are both Kendrick fans, and it's as far as the choreography and the visuals, and it was, for me too. I agree. It was very, like simple, but it was, it was solid, and I'd give it probably like an 8 or 7.5 as well too.
I don't think it was as good as like the Dr. Dre one, because that one was just
pretty sweet. Yeah.
It was so awesome they brought everybody out and that kind of thing. Also, apparently, bell-bottom jeans are back. Thanks to
I know, what the fuck? That was an interesting move.
Those are atrocious.
His jacket that he had too was sweet. I think it was like
that was nice.
Yeah.
A nice jacket.
That was especially made for him and all that. And I like how, for all like the press for this, he's been rocking a lot of backwards LA caps, like Ken Griffey style, that kind of thing. But what they do, instead of showing they'll like take off the MLB emblem.
Oh really?
Because they don't want to promote probably Major League Baseball for the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So, but yeah, it was a good performance. I liked it. Were you able to watch any of it?
I kind of was seeing it with half an eye at work, but I rewatched it on YouTube.
Did you have the volume on for it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cool. I thought it was like, I like some Kendrick songs. He's not like my favorite hip hop rap artist, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I just find his music to be like very unique and kind of niche in a way, in that genre. But I do think I thought the performance was cool and all that, but I don't know. A lot of people were not fans of it.
Some people were saying it was like the worst halftime show of all time. I'm like, dude, come on.
That's crazy.
Come on,
here's the problem though, is like I know he's huge in the rap game, but I don't know that like he's not very like mainstream among like just the general public.
I would say that's fair.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, because who was it last year?
Usher's
huge.
Usher's huge, yeah. That's why I think the Super Bowl would be smart, or the NFL would be smarter to go with like pop artists more often than not.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say
well,
it.
that even proves the point more. Your point more of like Lil Wayne. Like that's the same thing.
Yeah. Do you want to see what Lil Wayne sounds like these days? Go check out what he sounded like at the WrestleMania last year.
Yeah.
He sounded terrible.
Yeah.
You didn't want that. Kendrick put up a way better show than Lil Wayne could ever dream of.
Yes.
In that situation.
Yeah.
And I guarantee that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, Lil Wayne.
Sorry about it.
Lil Wayne's coach.
He's washed.
Apparently, he's hosting First Things First. Did you hear that?
Oh, is he?
He's gonna fill in.
Is he still claiming to be a Packers fan?
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
But I mean, but Lil Wayne, I've listened to
I
Lil
thought
Wayne.
he's a Saints guy. No.
Well, he's from New Orleans, but he's a
Packers fan.
Is he?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought at some point he repped the Saints, but I don't know.
I mean, if he did, it wouldn't surprise me a little bit. But he's a Packers guy.
He made a green and yellow,
Green and yellow
song.
instead of black and yellow.
I forgot about that.
And I got love for Lil Wayne. Like, I don't think he's bad. I think he's
Yeah.
washed up. Like the Carter 6 is coming out. No one gives a fuck about that anymore, bro. I'm
Keep
sorry.
it, keep
except for like the really like Lil Wayne heads,
Yeah.
which I'm not one of those guys.
Lil Wayne.
But so hear me out. Halftime show for next year is going to be in Santa Clara.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Jay-Z runs it, and I know the past couple of years. Although I did think the Rihanna one was pretty good a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I thought that one was good. Jay-Z, because he runs the halftime show stuff, you got to do it. Hate to do it. He's got to get Metallica.
Ooh, that'd be tough.
In the Bay Area.
That'd be tough.
It's what they should have done for Super Bowl 50. They whipped on that.
You mean you don't want E40?
No, I would love to have...
short?
I would love to have...
Just do a total hyphy Bay Area rap halftime show.
I would love to have E42 short. That'd be awesome. They're not,
But the public would not want it.
You don't think Kendrick's big enough for the public? You think E42 short are big enough? No way. That'd be fantastic.
It would be amazing.
That'd be great. Probably not going to happen. I mean, that's definitely not going to happen.
No.
But I think
Metallica
I think Metallica is really a realistic possibility, given the fact that they blew it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think they should.
Yeah.
I think they're due. They have not done a Super Bowl halftime show, I believe.
Yeah, and if you could just like encourage them to kind of play the mainstream stuff, I think it'd be totally fine.
Only reason why I could see Metallica not doing it is because Lars Ulrich, the drummer, likes to get paid, and the performers don't get paid to do this.
I don't know. I guess I didn't know that. That seems kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't.
It's just free.
Apparently, the NFL doesn't have enough money. Well, that's the thing, though. Like, I just saw after this, Kendrick is now the highest streamed rapper in the world right now on Spotify.
Yeah, so it's just free promotion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Metallica, Super Bowl 60. They're going to be there, I'm calling it.
That'd be cool. I'd be all about it.
Is that a bold prediction?
No, I don't think it's bold.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't give us Green Day, please.
I
Because that is like semi-possible, I guess.
Oh, that is really possible.
Yeah.
I mean, Green Day is cool, but
Yeah.
it should be Metallica.
Yeah.
Because who else would it be? It's not going to be like Steve Miller Band.
Train.
My God.
Journey.
Journey, yeah, with the new singer.
No, it's got to be Metallica.
No, Journey with Steve Perry. That would be a god awful. All right, enough about that.
So that is
Super Bowl wrapped up.
the Super Bowl.
Congrats to our good buddy Arb on winning the playoff pool.
I
Cashed
texted
in 140.
him. I was like, "Hey, good job on the pool." And he's like, "Dude, it's probably the best bracket I've ever put up in my life."
I mean, hey, getting the Super Bowl champion right and their opponent, that's pretty good.
And he was the only one who picked the Eagles.
Yeah.
To win it.
Yeah.
So good for them. You came in second.
I came in second. Yeah, you were third.
Okay, look at us.
Good week from the pod.
Sal, you didn't join, did you?
No.
Oh, bro, I thought you liked the NFL.
I think I was crashing out at the time or something.
Fair enough. Niners suck this year, so I don't blame you.
Oh man, did you already give Arb his money?
I did, yeah.
Where's my money at? You owe me $10.
Did you pay me?
No. So I get 20.
Yes, I know.
I didn't give you 20. I didn't give you 10, so I get 10.
I got a
You
clean
sound like
crisp
Big
10.
Worm, bro. Big Worm from Friday.
Yeah.
How about I just hold on to it for you for next year?
I mean, yeah. Apparently, I'm obligated to join all these. 'Cause I'm part of this podcast.
Yeah, yep, that's how it works.
That's how it
Sorry,
works.
bud.
But I tend to do okay in it, so
Yeah. Didn't you win the college basketball one last year?
I did.
Yeah.
I had both teams right. So
That's pretty fucking good, honestly. Yeah. That's not easy to do. I don't care how chalk it is. All right. A little NFL news so we can wrap up this season.
yes, the Pro Bowl. Did you guys watch?
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck no.
Big game. Who won?
The NFC beat the AFC 76-63.
3 straight championships, right?
Eli Manning.
Eli. Hey, should he be a head coach? Oof. Speaking of Eli, he was not in the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame class, but
He'll get there eventually, right?
I think probably. I don't think he should be but I have a stricter, I feel like, bar for who should be in.
It's not the Hall of Very Good.
It's not the Hall of it's also not the Hall of Emerson.
Well, you could also make the point that if he's not in it the first try, why would he be in it like the 8th try or 5th try?
That's been my case about every Hall of Fame. I just don't get it.
Yeah, like if you're in, you're in.
Like, why is it so hard to think about? I understand sometimes, I think it's probably in baseball more than any other sport, just because you kind of have to take a little step back, maybe look at the numbers, because stats are a big thing in baseball, and they're less so in other sports. But yeah, you should know as soon as they're eligible whether or not they should be in.
Yeah.
Right?
I also heard a good point, though, that maybe they're waiting for Eli to get in for the year Tom Brady gets in, so they get in together.
That would be funny. That would be really funny.
That'd be pretty good.
Nice pettiness. So our 4 inductees are Eric Allen, Jared Allen. I wrote Jaron. I've changed his...
Jared Allen, what was it, the Cowboy?
The Cowboy. Was that Justin Smith?
That was
Wasn't he
Justin
the Cowboy?
Smith, too.
Yeah.
I thought... whatever.
Yeah. Cool. Close enough. So Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp, who got in on the what do they call that one? Like the senior induction committee or whatever, whatever it's called.
Sterling Sharp, when I sent you guys the video, I don't know if you watched any of it, but it was the guy who told him who was in the Hall of Fame was his brother, Shannon Sharp.
That's pretty cool.
And they were the first brothers to get in the NFL Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. This happened not that long ago, but before I knew he was in the Hall of Fame. I remember tripping over his Pro Football reference page, and I was like, "Damn, this guy had a fucking nice career." Like he
just got hurt.
Yeah, and there was which is crazy. Like he got hurt and he was just done. Yeah. He never came back.
He's a back.
You're right,
back
like a spinal
problem,
kind of issue or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Which was really really sad. But yeah, he was like a first team All Pro like twice, and I think a second team All Pro a couple other times maybe. Yeah.
Well, it's really cool too because I've seen Shannon Sharp talk about the possibility of his brother getting in the past and how he said that video that I sent you guys that was the biggest, the most proudest he's ever been his entire life.
That's cool.
Just being able to tell his big brother because he looked up to his brother.
Right.
His brother really set the tone for what Shannon knew that he could do.
Right.
And where he could possibly go.
I mean, if you think about it, Shannon Sharp may not even give the NFL a chance or give football a chance if his brother's not playing. You know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So congrats to all 4 people that came.
I know the name Eric Allen, but I mean he was before our time really. Defensive back, I think for the Bears, right?
Eagles too.
Okay, yeah. Obviously Antonio Gates, one of the best tight ends of our generation. Jared Allen, sack master for those Vikings
Allen
teams.
Was a bad boy.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah.
Also,
he's pretty decent for the Chiefs too, but mostly for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Was he on the Panthers too?
Maybe after the Vikings. Yeah.
I think
also, I gotta say it, Adam Vinatieri.
Snubbed?
He got snubbed.
I don't disagree with that
snubbed.
one bit.
I mean...
Did he kick a game-winning field goal in the Super Bowl twice?
I think so.
Or more than that? Just twice?
I mean, he's won 4 of them.
it was a Rams.
He won with the Colts, too.
With the Colts, yeah.
Panthers, yeah.
I just don't... I mean, is the NFL tougher on these...
I would imagine if you're a
guys?
kicker, you got to have a hell of a career. But I feel like...
Yeah.
He was arguably the best kicker for 15 years,
One of the best teams. I'd love to know. I don't know off the top of my head, or haven't read anything. What was and if we even know this information on
what's the criteria
or the voting?
Yeah,
but I just don't understand how he didn't get in.
Yeah,
besides him being a kicker,
right.
And I think he has the most points scored in NFL history.
Wouldn't shock me because he played for 25 years.
I just don't. I feel like he was snubbed.
Yeah,
if he's not, he better get in next year.
Yeah.
Damn, Sal. OKC.
OKC dropping one.
Yeah. Welcome.
Moving on to the NFL awards. It was a good week to be an Allen. Josh Allen, MVP, along with Eric and Jared, his uncles, and making it to the Hall of Fame. Kind of an upset in a way because, generally speaking, when a quarterback wins
first team
All Pro like Lamar Jackson did, they tend to be the MVP or the favorite over the second team All Pro quarterback. But that was not the case in this situation.
Josh Allen, 27 first place votes.
It was really close.
Lamar Jackson, 23 first place votes.
Yeah.
Total votes, Josh Allen, 383. Total votes, Lamar Jackson, 262.
Yeah.
One thing I did not know until Deb brought it to my attention, Josh Allen did not play 11 quarters this season.
Because of like them blowing teams out or something. Yeah, so. And then missing the last game.
That's almost 4 full games worth. Oh no, excuse me,
3. Yeah.
So I mean that kind of puts things in more perspective. I did not know that. When she told me that, I was shocked.
Well, like when you're talking about statistics.
Yeah, because let's say he would play those 11 quarters.
But yeah.
The stats would be better.
That's fair. You would think I mean, how much better? Who knows? But yeah, that's not an unfair point.
Yeah.
But are you guys willing to agree that it's okay to differentiate first team All Pro with MVP? Because it does sound a little weird, right? Mm-hmm. But can a guy be the best quarterback, but a different quarterback be the most valuable player of the league?
I think so, because we were talking about earlier about how clogged up the good quarterbacks are in the AFC.
Sure.
And, well, I guess mostly AFC, but in the league.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay. Do I think it could have been a little bit of voter fatigue as well towards Lamar Jackson? I think so. Very but do I think Josh Allen is deserving of being MVP this year? Absolutely.
I think they both were. Like, I don't think there was really a wrong choice there.
Yeah. Well, and I know this doesn't count because they vote for the awards before the postseason starts.
Right.
But it looks better now that Josh Allen beat Lamar Jackson in the playoffs as well.
Right.
They didn't vote after that.
Sure.
But I think it's a good look.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I could see the argument of like, well, All Pro is more about like who's the most prolific, statistical player, and then MVP is more about who like actually brought the value to the team on the field. Mm-hmm. So,
and I think the MVP play of the season for Josh Allen was against the Niners. I'm not trying to,
the pitch,
the throw to Amari Cooper, the pitch.
Oh yeah, that was
bad fucking ass.
Yeah, that was a cool play.
Didn't he have a pretty badass touchdown run against the Chiefs that sealed that game too? I was kind of thinking that one. Yeah,
those two would be pretty good.
Yeah,
but that play against Niners, I was like, dude, that was sick. That was sick.
Yeah,
it was snowing.
Yep.
And I think that counted as a touchdown pass for
a rushing touchdown.
Touchdown
for a Coop. Yeah.
So
yep, Josh Allen MVP. Coach of the Year, Kevin O'Connell, not a huge shock there. Mm-hmm. Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burrow, not a shock there either.
Second time he's won that award?
Isn't that crazy? Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon with his 2,000 yards. Not shocking. Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain. I didn't see that one coming. I don't think he was high on the odds, but there wasn't, like, this often goes to, like, a guy who racks up a bunch of sacks, but there really wasn't, like, that dude that stood out this year.
Yeah.
So... Pat Surtain, shut down corner. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels, no shock. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jared Verse from the Rams. That one's always a tough one when there's not like a standout guy, but I guess he was the betting favorite. And Man of the Year, Eric Armstead, former 49er.
Man of the Year, shout out.
I wanted to say Duval, but...
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, what were we going to say about Eric Armstead?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't think either of us got any of these right, correct?
No. Nothing. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure we both went Caleb, right? On Rookie of the Year? Yeah.
Whiff.
Yeah.
Zesty. Sal's boy.
We should we should add Offensive Player of the Year into our predictions next year.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a fun one.
What I would have liked to have seen is Saquon this year passing Eric Dickerson's regular season record? Because I want to know if that would have swayed the MVP voting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know we already hashed this out, but I still think like the fact that he would have had to play 17 games to do it like that, that would have kind of been a talking point.
But also Eric Dickerson broke the record, OJ's record.
When he did in 14, right?
More games, too.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
Which we've talked about.
Yes. All right, Kellen Moore is expected to be, or no, he is the Saints head coach. I'm sorry, this is news as of yesterday, I believe. Kellen Moore, new head coach of the Saints.
That's a big loss for the Eagles.
I think so, but I'm sure they'll find somebody decent.
Yeah.
It is tough though that they're the last team to lose a coordinator.
I mean, I think the team and the fans will take it because they won the Super Bowl.
Right, they're not really tripping.
They got what they wanted.
Exactly. But yeah, it's like we talked about, a couple weeks ago. It's going to be potentially a long rebuilding process for Moore, but but maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe because he's going to get probably a longer leash. They're going to be looking for a quarterback. I got to imagine in this draft, if not next.
Yeah, this is like you said like 2 weeks ago. This could be just his thing.
Yeah, maybe he's he's the CEO for the next 10 years.
It's not going to be pretty at first, but I think obviously he's the Cowboys offensive coordinator, and I don't mind him.
Yeah,
good for him.
Yeah, he's run a lot of prolific offenses in the NFL.
Yeah, shout out Boise State.
Isn't it funny how quickly he became a head coach?
Yeah.
I saw this thing the other day about like that 2012 quarterback draft class. He was in it, and Andrew Luck's already retired. Cam Newton's out of the league. Yeah. Or no, Cam Newton was the year before. It wasn't Cam. It was somebody else. Robert Griffin obviously was done pretty quick. But yeah, funny how that class turned out.
Do you want Kellen Moore to go the Brian Schottenheimer route and be a coordinator for fucking 15 years?
Yeah, so you got to pay your dues, buddy. Myles Garrett has requested a trade from the Browns. I can't say I'm surprised because the guy wants to win, and he's a all-pro defensive lineman that's just been stuck in football hell out there in Cleveland.
Come to the Cowboys. It's also football hell, but you'll look good in the uniform.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see who's going to be in on him. I got to think the Rams are going to be in on him because they're going to be looking to replace Aaron Donald's presence.
Which you guys don't want.
Does
that.
Not excite my, does not excite me as a fan.
No, I don't blame you.
But yeah, I think the realistic possibilities, the Rams will be on that list because he says he's got aspirations to win a Super Bowl. Got to throw the Chiefs in there, unfortunately. Bills could be an interesting spot for him.
Yeah,
Ravens, maybe. I was even thinking Washington Commanders if he has some patience, because obviously they're a young team, but if he could really improve that defense on his own.
That's a good point. It's patience. I mean, he's already in his 30s.
Yeah.
Obviously, the future is bright for the Commanders.
Right.
So he could go that route. It's not that call. I think they have the money for it.
Right.
Or the cap space for it.
Right. But yeah, like he has to be thinking, like if his words are, serious about I want to win now. Hey, look at Oracle Park.
Oh, nice.
Baseball season coming right around the corner.
She's looking pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's serious, like you got to just be thinking strictly about the top contenders, like right now.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Jets have informed Aaron Rodgers they will not be bringing him back. Good on them.
Hey. That was easy. That was easy for the Jets. So Aaron Rodgers, he's going to the Vikings, right?
Yeah, I would love that so much.
It has to happen.
It would be hilarious.
I would love that.
Because you put Brett Favre's football reference page side by side with his.
Boom.
Oh, Packers forever. Oh, Jets? What the fuck? Oh, Vikings?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
That would be
incredible.
Amazing.
Honestly, I don't know who's going to want this guy, though. Like, people are talking about the Steelers, and obviously there's a hole there, but is that the winning ticket for them? I just don't see it.
Yeah, could Kellen Moore want him? I know they had Derek Carr.
But that, I think that would just be a waste of time for both of them. Yeah. Colts, if they're done with Anthony Richardson,
Oof.
I don't know. That'd be a quick trigger.
I mean, he could be a backup for Brock Purdy.
Oh no.
So I've also heard Titans. But I don't know that the Titans are in win now mode right now. Yeah, they were just so bad last year.
Your boy Will Levis.
Yeah.
Cost you your fantasy football championship. Dude, when you explain that to me, that if you wouldn't have started Will Levis, you would have won the championship. You heard this, right, Sal?
Yeah.
I don't even know why I did that to myself.
I think I almost did it.
I should have checked out.
Called it a life.
Yeah. Or not checked out, but maybe I should have checked in.
That's tough.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have even...
I overthought it.
You shouldn't have even looked at the possibility of you winning after.
That was where I went wrong. It wasn't even about Will Levis. It was just about after the fact. Good shit, though.
Yeah.
Go Titans. Niners, they have reportedly given Deebo Samuel the green light to seek a trade. Sal, how are we feeling about that?
That's your boy.
Yeah, man. It's bittersweet because that 21 season,
He was an animal.
it was great. It was great, and then it's just you could see the body language, and his physique, obviously, he looked bigger, and it just wasn't a good year, and he can't get open on routes, and
this year was so bad.
It was just a shit show,
So bad.
So I think it's a mutual thing. They both want to part ways, and
I want to part ways.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean that's what it is, and I'm sure he can get in shape and contribute somewhere else. So hopefully that happens for him. But
yeah,
you're talking to a guy who had him in fantasy this year. It was
rough for you.
Yeah.
I remember.
There was the Seahawks Thursday night game when we were in Tulsa. He lit it up, and that was pretty much about it.
Yeah, that was
except for the week later on in the year. I think it was like consolation bracket where I didn't start him and he went off.
Yeah,
so it was just and that's fantasy for you.
Yeah. No, he was rough to watch this year. I mean, I remember that Rams game where it was basically do or die for the Niners, and they pretty much force-fed him, and he just came up,
He had just complained about targets, too.
Right.
And he dropped a touchdown.
Yep.
Probably would have been
basically
close to a touchdown.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Brutal season for Deebo. Definitely ready to move on. He was becoming a bit of a locker room cancer, as they like to say. But, yep. Should be an interesting offseason for the 49ers, though. Obviously got Brock Purdy's contract situation to deal with, and kind of retooling the receiving core in a way. And a big draft, too, because they gotta get right, on the younger side.
Yeah.
Moving on, NBA trade deadline news. It was a big one, and we are very late on this news, but hey, we had to take last week off because it seemed right. Fortunately, we're back now to talk about it. First but not least, your Kings. Unfortunately, they traded franchise cornerstone De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs in a 3-team deal. Got Zach LaVine in return. Got 3 first-rounders out of it, though, which is not bad. But your feelings overall on Foxy going away?
I hate to see him go.
Yeah.
I really do. But I'm glad that they got more than the Mavericks got for
Well, yes.
Luka.
Yes, exactly.
But it sucks, especially that he seems to be playing well on the Spurs already.
Sure,
Which is good for him.
Yeah.
I think his wife from San Antonio, I think she played college in San Antonio, college basketball in San Antonio.
Okay.
That kind of thing. So it makes sense. It's just nice that the Kings were able to get something for him.
Yeah.
Other than letting him just walk in free agency.
I think they did really well, personally. I mean, Zach LaVine, you could say what you want about him being having empty stats or something like that, but
he could play.
He could play, and they got 3 first-round picks to boot. And if the guy's going to walk in a year and a half, why not make the move?
Yeah, I just hope when the Kings come back, or when the Spurs come back to Sacramento, which is going to be March 7th, the Kings fans give De'Aaron Fox a huge round of applause.
Yeah, absolutely.
It should not hear any boos. There will be boos because people are trolls, but overall it should not be that way.
Yeah,
I think. But it sucks, because he helped the Kings get back to relevance. In my opinion, what the Kings are in right now is relevance.
Yeah.
They had the great series against the Warriors, and they came up a little bit short.
Yeah.
It happens. Steph Curry drops 50. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Game 7. Then they won the playing game, which was great, and they couldn't beat the Pelicans last year, which was just they couldn't do that at all last year.
Yeah.
So it sucks that going forward, if the Kings have any kind of success in the playoffs or any success at all, he's not going to be part of it. But he's, to me, one of the best Sacramento Kings of all time.
Sure. Yeah, he's absolutely in that conversation.
He's got to be up there with, like, Chris Webber, Peja,
yeah,
Mike Bibby, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure. I mean, could they retire his number? Possibly.
I'd be hard pressed to put my money on that, but yeah, no, he definitely was a great king. No question about it.
He seemed to really embrace Sacramento.
Yeah.
So don't like seeing him go, but I understand.
Yeah.
Great situation. He's gonna be with Wemby for the next, 6-7 years probably.
Right.
I would guess.
Yeah.
So, and I thought it was great for the Spurs. A great.
Oh yeah, a great potential duo with him and Wemby going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be interesting to watch in the coming years.
But yeah, I was watching a Kings game a couple days ago, and I was just like, it didn't feel right without Fox.
It just felt like someone was missing.
It felt like someone was missing.
Yeah.
Not to say the Kings still can't play basketball, but it's just something was missing. I was missing my lefty out there.
What about Markelle Fultz? They just picked him up today.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
I sent that to Gage.
We'll see how that goes. But, you kind of gotta feel bad for like DeMar DeRozan because he comes here in free agency, huge deal.
Yeah.
And De'Aaron Fox leaves.
Yeah, it's weird.
But the Kings still have a decent team, and they also got Jonas Valanciunas.
Oh yeah, that's a nice pickup.
It's
some big man depth there.
Big man down low.
Yeah,
can't hate that.
This could be a bad comp. I mean it's not perfect in comparison, but kind of makes me think of when the Warriors traded Monte Ellis, because I remember Warriors fans were not happy about it. But in the end, it turned out to be the right deal for sure.
Yeah. I don't think the Kings have a Steph Curry on their team like the Warriors did.
That is one huge difference for sure.
But I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
Hopefully for the Kings, like all I really need to see the Kings do, short term, is
be in the mix in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, win a playoff series.
Right.
That's what I need to see right now.
I think they can do that with this roster.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like you team Levine back up with DeMar DeRozan, like there's some familiarity there, so that's a plus, right? Not that they were winning a bunch of games in Chicago, but still, they're on a better team overall now.
The Kings starting five is a decent starting five.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think hopefully they can get the 6th seed. Probably not going to happen. Probably play-in situation, but that's.
I mean, they won 3 in a row. I don't know what they did tonight. I know they played today against.
They played the Pelicans back-to-back nights.
Yeah, who are shit. So you'd think Zion and his buffet would probably not show up.
Saying Pelicans won.
Oh my! Oh, I thought I saw 103, but they still
140 to 133 in overtime. Kings are 28 and 27. It's
Hey, same with the Warriors. What about that?
But the Pelicans are 13 and 42, so that's a bad loss.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
But the Kings are currently the 9 seed. Warriors right behind them, the 10 seed.
A lot of season left.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Guys will get familiar with each other, and
it's just now the All-Star break.
Right. Yeah. So, and Spurs are actually only 2-3 since the trade of getting Fox, and he's been playing pretty decent, 21 and 8 in those games. I think he's shooting about 50% if I remember right.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people are like, oh yeah, they're definitely going to make a push towards the playoffs, and it's not impossible that they do that. But I don't know that that's just going to be guaranteed right now. I think this whole deal is about the future of those two guys together and building around that.
Absolutely. That's why I thought it was such a hit for the Spurs.
Right. Yeah. No, that's going to be big.
Because they have their starting point guard who could still learn from a guy like Chris Paul.
Sure.
And he's feeding the phenom of the league right now.
Yeah. I actually, for whatever reason, I kind of thought that Chris Paul might be moved in the whole situation, but I think it's good for them that they keep him.
Yeah.
Reduce his role a little bit. All right. On to my Warriors. They acquired Jimmy Butler in a 5-team deal and also signed him to a 2-year extension, which I think effectively makes this, in my opinion, a 1.5-year experiment.
Okay.
Because they get the rest of this season and they get all of next season to figure out, is this going to work again? Do we sign Butler to another extension? Because, if he doesn't get his money that following offseason, he's going to start bitching, inevitably. Both him and Steph are older players, so it's not like this has
Draymond.
And Draymond. So it's not like this has a long potential for success.
This is pretty much the quote unquote last dance.
It is, yeah, and it was like I'm fully willing to admit this was a totally desperate move, but at the same time, I do believe it was necessary.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't just stand pat after the KD trade talks fell through, which seemed weird to begin with.
Well, it was desperate on both ends because he said he didn't want to go there because he wasn't going to sign an extension. And the Warriors were missing on literally everybody else.
Right. And
so it was just like...
And he had his eyes pretty much set on Phoenix. Jimmy Butler did, right? Yeah.
It was kind of like, 2 a.m. rolling around at the bar.
Yeah.
You want to go home with somebody.
Yeah. I'll take the 4 in the morning.
You did not just compare that.
That's kind of how it was. I mean, honestly, think about it.
That's a great comparison.
I'm just saying. Pretty much how it is.
Yeah.
You got the beer goggles on a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You look okay.
Yeah, you like this. Wake up in the morning, you're like, ooh, was that a bad decision?
Hey, turn your head just a little bit.
Hey, your Uber's outside.
Oof.
A few things about Jimmy Butler. He's wearing number 10. How do you feel about that?
I'm not a huge fan.
Tim Hardaway's old number.
David
Lee's old number.
D. Lee.
And it's now going to say Butler the third.
Yeah, which we were talking about that just before you got here.
Yeah, I guess his dad passed away last year, and he
doing a little tribute.
Which that's cool. It's just we're used to seeing him wear 21, 22, 23. I think he might have wore in Minnesota.
Right.
That kind of thing. obviously 22 in Miami, 21 for Chicago.
Yeah.
So interesting that he went.
I was kind of thinking he would just stick with 22. Because Wiggins took his 22 in Miami,
Yeah.
ironically.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I thought he'd do that too.
Yeah.
Although maybe the Warriors, going back to what you said about Joe Lacob, maybe Joe Lacob wants
He's like, yeah.
he wants to retire his main number
Dude.
as he possibly can.
If he retired Andrew Wiggins' number, I'd be like, all right, let's pump it a little bit, Joe. Pump him.
He wants to, like you said, he wants to make himself look that much better.
Right?
So maybe that's why he's like, I can't give you 22.
Yeah. This is hold on. I want to think about this for a minute.
We gotta let it rest.
Yeah.
Let the jersey number get cold a little bit.
Let it get cold.
So.
So yeah, the Heat in this deal, they received Andrew Wiggins and a first-round pick, which is top 10 protected, which I think is actually a huge deal for the Warriors. Meaning that, like, if this season just goes to shit and they do get a top 10 pick in the lottery, they get to keep it.
Yeah.
Warriors additionally gave up Dennis Schroeder.
Schroeder's gone?
Shitter?
Yeah. Is your mom sad?
Oh, she's heartbroken. Schroeder gone. Kyle Anderson's out of here. Lindy Waters gone as well, and a second-round pick, which I think that whole package, to me, even though there is some risk with Butler and his future with the team, I feel like it was a good deal for the Warriors.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do.
Can't beat that.
Yeah. Jimmy had 25 in his Warriors debut, and they are now 3-1 in his 4 games since coming to the team. So small sample size, but good win against the Rockets tonight, and good start to his tenure.
They keep showing Oracle Park, man. We gotta get there.
I know, it's getting me a little horny.
Gotta get back there, man. Miss that place. Oh, there's your
there's your
halftime guy right there. E40.
Fonzarelli. All right, now to the big one. The Lakers, they acquired Luka Doncic from the Mavs. In return, the Mavs received Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and one singular first-round pick, which I think is the biggest news out of all of this.
What happened? What happened with Luka and the Mavs that it got to this point?
It's really hard to understand it, and I still have not heard a good enough excuse or a good enough reasoning.
You give up a guy who just led you to the finals, albeit didn't win.
Yeah.
Led you to that. Who is young. He's like, 25, 24, 26?
I think he's 25 right now.
Okay,
Going to be 26 maybe.
For a guy who has the nickname Street Clothes, who is in his now 30s.
Yeah,
and
he's going to be
literally in his first game, which he balled out in the first half, got hurt, and now he's out for like at least a month. If you're the Mavs or the Mavs GM, you're sick. You have to be, right?
It's just...
And Luka hasn't lit it up with the Lakers yet. But geez, like you think this is all going to work, and then Anthony Davis gets hurt.
It's
non-contact.
It's comical, and it's so fucking Anthony Davis.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to laugh at someone getting hurt, but you know what I mean. Like,
no, it's just like if that's not a sign that this is a bad trade, I don't know what else could be.
Right.
For the Mavericks.
Right.
And yeah, I know Luka hadn't played since Christmas, and his first game was a few nights ago, and he only had like 14, but the Lakers still won.
Yeah. But I don't really get the whole, he can't stay on the floor thing, because really, up until this year, he plays as much as any other NBA player these days. Mm-hmm. He's played at least 60 games in every year, if I'm not mistaken. And this was going to be the first year that he didn't. And then I think he only missed games in one playoff series in his career. And I think they still won that series.
Yeah.
So I think that narrative is a little overblown, but
it can't just be that he's not a good defender, right? Can it?
It's got to be. It can't, because even as bad as a defender as he was, you can put other guys around you. I mean, Steph Curry's no fucking lockdown defender, but he's a 4-time NBA champion.
Yeah.
And he lights it up. And Luka does the same shit on the offensive end. I get that he's got there's the metric of blow-bys, and he's the worst at allowing them on defense. He's also been talked about not being in shape, which I get that. But
he's a little doughy.
I don't know if it's just the Lakers gold, but he looks a little chubby in that uniform.
I mean, I'm going to say this because I'm white. White players do not look good in that yellow uniform.
They've never.
They don't. I don't know what it is.
I mean, Austin Reeves doesn't look good. No. Caruso didn't look good.
No, it's just weird. I don't know what it is.
I would say Pau is probably the best, but he had that Spanish olive hue.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
It's hard to wrap your head around this trade. I mean, the only way that this goes remotely okay for the Mavs and their fan base is that
they win the championship.
They find a way to at least get to a finals in the next 2 years, minimum.
Yeah,
but probably got to win one, right?
Yeah,
and Luka can't win one, ever.
That's true.
Like literally ever, because he's theoretically got 10 years of prime left.
I think the Mavs could win one or go, and Luka could win one or go, and I think it'd be a wash. Like let's just say.
Oh, I'm saying I guess without winning one, sure, that's fine. Like
let's say the Mavs win one with Anthony Davis like 2 years from now, but Luka wins one with the Lakers like in 6 years.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a wash.
I still think that's a little worse because of how much they promoted him as their guy of the future, and Mavs fans were fucking protesting outside the arena with their Doncic jerseys on backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a bad scene.
I would have been sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
I was sick about De'Aaron Fox. I would have been sick about Luka, who should have been drafted by the Kings.
Right.
By the way.
Yeah. No, it's all bad. I just we'll see what happens, man. But yeah, you got Kyrie, who's been flaky throughout his career. You got Anthony Davis now, who's often injured. Of course, we know that. And they're both on the wrong side of 30. What are we doing?
You got to give it to Lakers for being able to pull this off, for one.
Fuck the Lakers, man. Seriously. Like we talked about, they always seem to get the guy.
Yeah.
In the history of the league.
Yeah. Well, now, they have LeBron. Obviously, he's probably got 2 more years at the most.
Yeah.
And now after that, they have their future.
Yep. They're set.
They might not be that great as a team because they still have to build that.
Right.
But they'll have their anchor.
Yeah.
For the next solid 10 years.
Yeah.
I would say.
But I mean, fucking Wilt, Kareem, Magic,
Shaq, Kobe in the trade. Well, I guess Kobe took a little longer.
But still, Kobe was a high school phenom that they were able to get. Then, I mean, even Pau Gasol.
Yeah.
The only time they didn't get one was Chris Paul.
I mean, Dwight Howard didn't work out, but they got Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard. They got then LeBron, of course, and then Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
fucking Luka. It's just it's insane, and a lot of those have been fucking Felisas.
Yeah.
Not
to mention in the franchise, they've also had Elgin Baylor, Jerry West.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson, James Worthy. Yeah, it's an embarrassment of riches, right? It's an embarrassment of riches for the Lakers. Luka's wearing number 77, as we know. Mm-hmm. No surprise there. Anthony Davis is wearing number 3 for the Mavs. No surprise he wore that for the Lakers. I don't mind either of those.
Yeah. I mean,
we're used to it.
Those European guys, they rock funny numbers.
Lakers are going to face the Mavericks in LA for the first time since the trade on February 25th. That'll be on TNT.
That'll be fun.
It'll be fun if Anthony Davis was playing, but he's not going to.
Right.
But it'll still be, I bet you Luka, I mean, what? He's going to try to put up like 45, right?
He'll be in better basketball shape at that point, and he'll be off the brewskis for a couple weeks.
I'm saying at least 30 points from Luka.
He'll take. Well, he's going to take 20 shots. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I think the Lakers' dynamic is very interesting going forward with him and LeBron because obviously they've sacrificed plenty of defense, and that Mark Williams trade fell through, so they don't really have a big man.
Yeah.
Their style of play is going to be funky.
Yeah, they're not. I don't think the Lakers aren't going to win the championship with LeBron and Luka on the team together.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
I'll give them, I guess, a little benefit of the doubt because they're both amazing offensive players, but it'll be hard. Yeah. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
NBA Contender rankings?
Yeah, let's do it.
Real quick.
First,
KD.
Oh, yeah, 30,000.
8th member of the 30K club.
Oh, yeah.
Good for him.
Congrats to Kevin Durant.
Fuck him.
Pretty amazing given the fact that he, was hurt for a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could think, how far could he be up if he didn't get hurt?
Yeah, you have another couple thousand probably.
Still, also a little surprised that he is only the 8th member. I feel like that list was longer, but I guess it's not.
Yeah. I know Steph's approaching 25,000.
Yeah.
But he there's a decent chance he doesn't get to 30.
Probably not.
Yeah, because he's scoring 2,000 points a season for him these days is not easy.
Yeah. Well, early in his career, he wasn't the player that he is now.
Exactly.
He was hurt a lot, so it worked out later for him.
Right.
And I'm sure he's okay having the 4 championships.
I think he's doing just fine. Just fine. All right, who wants to go first?
let Sal go first.
Yeah, Sal.
Me?
Let's see that list, dog.
So I asked you earlier how many, and I did 6 just to be safe. So
let's give everyone the criteria once again, since it's the first time we're doing this season. Yeah. It is obviously every team on your list, and your list can be as many teams as you want it to be. Mm-hmm. It could be 1, it could be 30. Obviously, it's not going to be 30.
What was yours last year? Like 15?
I had probably 14 or 15 at one point. At least 13. Yeah. I'll say that. But yeah, every team on your list, you essentially have to consider as a team that could win the championship this season. I guess we could be a little more lenient. Like if you think they're a team that you see making the conference championship or conference finals, like obviously that would be a contending team. But yeah, so yeah, Sal, fire it off.
Okay, so for my number 1, I don't think it'll be a surprise to you guys, but I put OKC.
Homer.
Just because,
it's
they've played very well. They're very young. We just got Chet back, and they have the best record. Well, they solely had the best record, but they lost earlier. For number 2, I put Celtics just because they're the defending champs, and they play in the East. Only really threat in their kind of 2 teams, really. For 3rd, I put Nuggets. I put them just because Jokic is Jokic, and he's such a dominant player, and they have playoff experience. For my 4th team, I put the Cavs. They have the best record in the East, and but I'm not too sold on them just because they kind of remind me of that Hawk team.
Yeah,
that had a good record in the regular season.
I'm kind of with you on that. Yeah.
So that's where I have them, and then for 5th, I have the Knicks. I like the Brunson and Cat combo.
Yeah, Cat's been playing really well.
Yeah.
That combination is working out way better, way faster than I expected.
Yeah. And so I like all the role players they have around them.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be good in the East. I was a toss up between Lakers, Memphis, and Rockets for my 6th slot, but I ended up putting the Grizzlies.
Okay.
Just because I like John Morant, and they also have kind of like a youngerish team, and they have good players, like role players that contribute.
Yeah.
But honorable mentions, I had Lakers just because Luka is Luka, and but like we just literally talked about, they lack depth at the center position, and so defensively, they're going to be very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And then I did want to put Mavs too, but Anthony Davis got hurt already.
Yeah,
I know.
And they do have depth at the center, but and then PJ, I think was it PJ Washington or Gafford got hurt?
Gafford did. Yeah.
I think one of them got hurt.
That doesn't help.
So yeah, that's my rankings, my 6.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I'll go next.
Sure.
We have the same 6, Sal.
Oh wow! Really?
I don't really have. I kind of have to ask this, and I'll do better next time we do this. But I do have OKC, Cavs, Boston, Nuggets, Knicks, and Memphis.
Oh, nice.
Sure.
Honorable mentions. I do think you could throw the Bucks in there.
Yeah.
They have Giannis, Dame. Giannis knows how to do it.
Yeah.
Think you could throw in. Not the Clippers. I thought the Mavs too until Anthony Davis got hurt as well. I know the Suns are the 11th seed. They do have the personnel, although I don't think that necessarily means they can win the championship.
Yeah. It's not a sexy, fit right now.
Even me with Memphis, I just don't. Can I imagine them winning it? No, I can't.
Yeah.
But you can never imagine a team winning it until you see them win it.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
The same with OKC. Obviously they've shown in the regular season that they're a really good team, but we haven't seen them do it.
Yeah.
But you have to pay the respect. Same with the Cavs.
Yeah.
Like what you said about the Cavs being like the Hawks makes a little sense, but they still have only lost 10 games, just like OKC.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The Hawks team still went to the conference finals.
Yeah.
Boston, champions already from last year.
Mm-hmm.
They're a really good team.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Nuggets. I think they dipped off a little more than I thought they would post championship a few years ago.
Yeah, last year their depth was not even close to where it was the championship season.
We still got Jokic, still got Jamal Murray, who just dropped 50, I think, last night or 2 nights ago. Knicks, I like the combination, like you were saying, Sal. I think it's working a lot better. I think Karl Anthony Towns is playing like a man possessed and just playing like new team. Like it's, what am I really trying to say? Like it's this rejuvenated.
Yeah,
career
he's got
almost.
that new team energy.
maybe it's maybe it's him more than the new uniform because the Knicks uniform, beautiful.
It's a classic.
It's a classic.
I hate when they wear those bunk ass alternate jerseys.
I'd have to see
the ones that had like two like New York twice.
Oh, you don't like those?
I don't know.
I like them a little bit.
Yeah, they're not my favorite.
But yeah, so Sal and I do have the same 6 teams. Could throw some honorable mentions, but I'll just stick with 6 for now.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, I went 7 teams, and my 7th team is kind of a wild card, but we'll get there. Starting at number 1, I have the Celtics. I feel like they're still the team to beat, and when it gets to playoff time, I kind of think they're not on the same level of dominance as those Warriors teams with KD, but I think they're kind of in that cruise control mode where they're like, we just need to get to the playoffs.
Yeah,
for
sure.
So I still got them number 1. OKC is my number 2 team. They look like the favorites in the West, and these are the 2 teams I had to go into the finals preseason. I feel very good about that.
Okay. Levine with 32 tonight.
Yeah. There you go. But not a winning effort, unfortunately.
CJ McCollum with 43. Jeez.
How did Monk get A6 rebounds? Nice typo.
That was good.
Only reason I have the Thunder behind the Celtics is just the general lack of experience, them being young. I think when you put those 2 teams, presumably if they made it to the finals together, put them on the same court for 7 games, I think the Celtics would prevail based on experience. Coming to number 3, I got the Cavs. I do feel similarly to you guys about them seeming better, more like a regular season team than potentially a playoff team. But one thing I like that they've done that's similar to what the Nuggets kind of did that led up to their championship is some continuity. And now they got a coach that I think is like legitimate with Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah.
So I like what I see from them. They could push the Celtics, but I still think in 7 games I'd go Boston. Mm-hmm. Number 4, the Nuggets. Championship pedigree, like we mentioned. Jamal Murray, like you mentioned, is playing a lot better. Yeah. Kind of getting back to his 2023 form. So they'll be a threat to anyone in the West, really. Knicks, number 5. They got some good vibes going. They're a good defensive team. Obviously, they kind of changed things up, going to get Cat to be a little bit better offensively, and it's working out quite well so far. Number 6, I do have the Grizzlies. They're an interesting team. Not a team I've watched a ton, but when I do see them, like they're beating good teams, and they've got Jaren Jackson's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate every year, and he's an All-Star finally. John Morant is back on the court and healthy. Not playing his most elite basketball right now, but you get that team in the playoffs, they could be a threat. Yeah. And then I got the Lakers as my 7th wild card team.
I knew you would.
Like I said,
you
put LeBron and Luka together, like you got to think something interesting could happen.
Yeah.
I just can't write them off.
That's fair.
It's kind of where I'm at. I don't like you said. I think the Mavs will be another wild card team for me, but Anthony Davis already getting hurt. I'm just like the juju is so fucking bad.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
Now. You traded away Luka. The town basically burned down for 3 days. And then Anthony Davis gets hurt in his first game with the team. That's not looking good for them right now. Yeah. But I got to think the Lakers go find the scraps somewhere in the buyout market. Yeah. In the next couple of weeks. There's no doubt in my mind. Because they can't just roll with what they got. No. There's no way. No.
So I'm glad we all have.
We have the general consensus on the teams out there, and at least in the top 6.
Yeah, it's nice.
I was on the fence on even including the Grizzlies and Lakers, just because I don't know about the Grizzlies just yet, but they are an interesting team, and I want to see a little bit more of them.
I just gotta say it's nice that football's finally over, so I can finally focus on watching more basketball.
Sure, yeah. And with this crazy fucking trade deadline, I think that brought some intrigue for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Any conspiracy theories on the Luka trade? You want to throw them out?
I really don't have any. I just want to know what the hell really happened behind closed doors.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We're probably not going to get it until we see another 30 for 30. Do they even make 30 for 30s anymore?
Dude, I always wonder that. Like, I feel like I see one come out every now and then, but I'm like, where was the promotion for
Bring back 30 for 30s.
They were good.
Those were great.
I just watched the Celtics-Lakers one the other day just because I was bored. And
like the Bird Magic one?
Yeah, that one's really good.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I've seen that one, actually.
It's on Netflix. It's really good.
Yeah.
I still, I know you know this one. My favorite is the Reggie Miller winning time one.
That
rivalry with the Knicks.
That one and the Steve Bartman / Bill Buckner Cubs one is fantastic.
Oh,
yeah. The way they're able to merge those two together.
That is pretty wild.
That one and that one are my favorite ones.
Yeah. Sleeper one, I think we may have watched it together. That New York Islanders guy who bought the team back in the 90s.
Did we watch that together?
Maybe I watched it with Nick or somebody. But it's really a fascinating story. Like, this guy was fraudulent, and he was able to use his fraudulent money to buy an NHL franchise in the 90s. Like, this was less than 30 years ago.
Also, another sneaky one was the Fab Five.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a classic.
That one's
and the U, because that's
yeah.
technically in that series.
Yeah. A ton of great ones.
Yeah.
Is it already that time? Are we there?
I think we are.
So what time is it?
Last call.
Let's go, baby.
That was easy.
There's no way anyone can understand that through the mic. I want to just play it on the phone. Of course, it didn't work.
Oh, nice. Good job.
Come on, volume. Where you
You
at?
gonna try again? Is it because you're on Do Not Disturb? For those who don't know what that is, it's Jalen Ramsey back when he played for the Jags before they played the Patriots in the AFC Championship game, where they lost.
And blew like a 10-point lead late in the game.
They not only did not go to the Super Bowl, they also did not win that bitch either. So
I just love being in public on a fucking PA yelling, "Bitch!" Yeah, we gonna win that bitch.
oh man,
Classic. Good stuff, Jalen.
Cowboys could have drafted him, by the way. They picked Zeke instead.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It was cool for a few years. A few minutes.
Yeah. Cup of coffee.
Hey, you feed him.
Yeah,
He was fed.
He was fed. Big time fed.
I got a fucking laundry list for last call. What you got?
Yeah, you do.
You want me to start, or you want to?
Let me see what I got.
Stick some stuff in there.
Sprinkling in. Justin Verlander, speaking of the Giants, is going to wear number 35 for the Giants.
Confirmed. Saw that on Instagram.
How do you guys feel?
I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
He's a future Hall of Famer, one of the best to ever do it. I never saw Brandon Crawford being like, "Oh, you can't wear my number."
Yeah.
It didn't seem like his style. Also, Brandon Crawford's not going to have his number retired by the Giants, probably anyways.
It's not a guarantee.
I think it could be one of those good, because Richard Willia also wore it.
Maybe a tandem.
One of those, like passed down type numbers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I see what you mean.
That kind of thing.
Like a future phenom shortstop that comes up, he gets number 35.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
That
I like
kind of
it.
thing. But I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I think also Eric Burns made an interesting point on his wild ass podcast he's got about how the Giants, I mean, it's their team. Like, they don't owe it to anyone to like save their number. Like, obviously, there's lines that you draw. Like Buster Posey, of course, he's gonna get his number retired. But yeah, they like it's their clubhouse manager has the right to do whatever they want. And so on and so forth. What's up?
You can go next.
Soccer.
Actually, you could say the rest you want to say, and then I'll ask something at the end.
Okay, sounds great. Soccer. PSG beat Brest 3-0 in the first leg of the UCL knockout playoffs, and your boys Real Madrid 3-2 over Man City in their first leg.
That game was insane.
That was wild. I was watching the last half of that game.
Also, a really good 30 for 30 Bad Boys, the Pistons one.
Classic. Classic.
I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah. But yeah, great start for. Winning on the road too for both teams.
Yeah.
3-0 against the same French league side of Brest. Not a bad start. Pete Alonso staying with the Mets on a 2-year deal, like we talked about a few weeks ago. It just feels right. Like he deserves to be a part of whatever they're trying to build right now. I mean, it would have been. I almost feel hypocritical to give Juan Soto $1 billion and then be like, we don't have enough for you, Pete. Sorry.
But if that would have been the case, it would have made sense because you're giving this guy how much money?
Like $750 million.
That's insane.
Also, just came in last night. Alex Bregman going to the Red Sox for a 3-year deal, which is kind of interesting. He got $120 million for 3 years, which is a lot of money per year, $40 million a year. I don't know. I mean, since like the whole scandal, his production has dropped off quite a bit. He's to me just not the same player. Yeah. So I don't really understand all the hype around his, free agency, but found a team. Also over in hockey, the Sharks traded one of their better players, Mikael Granlund, got a first-round pick in return. He was going to be a free agent, so nice to keep stocking up the future.
Yep, they're going to be the OKC of hockey in like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. They have 2 first-rounders this year, and maybe even 2 next year, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So, future's what we're hoping for with the Sharkies.
No Sharks on tonight, huh?
So, speaking of that,
Okay.
NHL is on a break right now. So, usually this would be the time they would do their All-Star game, but instead they decided to bring back, I think, an old tournament that they used to do. It would have been like a preseason thing.
Okay.
This is called the Four Nations Face-Off, which started last night.
Okay.
And Canada and Sweden played last night. USA played Finland. I don't know what the final was of that one.
So is the NHL going to do an All-Star game?
So, no, this is in place of the All-Star game. Yeah.
Is this what they're going to do going forward?
No, this is just... I think maybe they'll do this every, few years or something.
Oh, wow, okay.
When there's... But I think they're trying to do this to, revive the whole NHL players going back to the Olympics, because they haven't played in the Olympics in, 6 years, I think it would be.
Okay.
Yeah, because they would have to take a break for the Olympic break in the NHL season.
So, are there still guys being voted to be All-Stars?
No, they didn't do that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I know they always generally have an All-Star game in the NHL, but I don't think All-Star appearances are a huge thing.
Gotcha.
No one tallies those up for their Hall of Fame ballot or anything like that.
I don't mind this because I think players will play more for this because their nation.
Oh, this is so much better. This is awesome.
Okay. Have you watched?
That highlight that you sent of Connor McDavid getting shit on.
Oh, that was Garrett. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Garrett. Yeah. Whatever. That was. They're playing hard in that tournament.
So I kind of like that. Cause,
Yeah.
An All-Star game, they're not really going to try.
Exactly. I honestly think this is making me feel like the NBA needs to do some kind of, USA versus the world kind of situation, or give it some kind of chance to be competitive. But yeah, so Four Nations face off. I think it's a 9-day tournament with 7 total games. That'll be decided.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see
like
more of it. And last but not least, Daytona 500 is this Sunday. Vroom vroom.
Let's go! I got the beanie on.
Yeah, big Kevin Harvick guy. Who'd have thought? We need to decide something right now for the people in our podcast. They have no idea this is going on, but we'll send them a video of it.
That's okay.
So Alex, and then we have Team Zach and Joanna, who are joining this year for the first time.
Do you want to explain why?
No, I don't.
Okay.
But they need a new number 1 driver, so they're going to get first choice, and whoever wins the coin toss gets to pick first.
We're very happy Zach and Joanna are a part of this now.
Yes, absolutely. They came to NASCAR last year, and I think they enjoyed it, and we're now including them in the pool.
Okay.
So, who do you want to assign a head or a tail to?
I'll give Alex heads, Zach and Joanna tails.
Okay, sounds good. And we got a nice silver dollar here with. You think this is Dwight D. Eisenhower on the coin?
I do.
It's a nice coin, huh?
It is nice.
My grandfather gave these to me.
Nice.
Shout out, Opa.
Yeah.
All right, here it goes. It is heads.
Heads.
And that's going to go to Alex.
Okay.
I'll show it to you guys just to be sure. You can't see that at all.
There you go. It's okay. It worked.
All right, so we got that in the books.
Who's winning?
The race?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I know, that's why I asked.
I'm going to go Kyle Busch because I said it. He's going to win this race, and he's not going to win another race the rest of the year. Who do you got?
Ooh.
A different Kyle?
Let me look at the poll real quick. Okay, let's
Chase
see.
Briscoe won the pole on his new team.
Okay.
Driving Martin Truex's old car.
Okay.
So that's kind of interesting.
Let's see. I think I'm going to go... Let's see. Jimmy Johnson's still down there.
Yeah.
God damn.
Driving for the legacy team.
I'm going to go... Man. I kind of want to go off the beaten path. Am I going to sound like an idiot if I say Josh Berry?
Fuck it. Wood Brothers? That's the team he drives for.
I'm going to go Josh Berry.
Josh Berry. All right. Daytona is one of those tracks where anything can happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like Jason Tatum said, anything's possible.
That was bad.
It was great.
Emerson, have you watched college basketball in the past 2 weeks?
For more than 90 seconds, I would say no.
Sal?
No, hell no.
I actually did. I watched a little bit of Texas Tech versus Arizona from a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
And also I'm going to give a shout out to John Calipari for beating his former team, the then 12-ranked Kentucky Wildcats, with his unranked Arkansas Razorbacks.
Nice.
Nice.
Is Arkansas looking good this year?
At the time that they beat them, they were not ranked.
No, they're ranked.
I don't know if they are now.
You know what's annoying though? SEC loaded in basketball now. Like they're also good at baseball. Fuck this shit. I'm done with them.
Like Vanderbilt, they're good at baseball, right?
Yeah. What you got for last call, Sal?
Not much. Yeah, I'm gonna focus on basketball at Gage, and I think I'm gonna try and lock in more on baseball so I can.
I'm ready for baseball season.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna suck this year, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dodgers are gonna beat ass.
They're gonna clean. Are they going for 120 this year?
Fuck.
That would be insane.
Does that mean they're just gonna plummet like the Mariners did in the early 2000s?
It'd be fucking great.
It'd be great.
Fantastic.
120? No. Like, realistically, what are the Dodgers going to get? Like 110?
117.
117?
No. You know what? It's not out of the realm of
Oh,
possibilities.
because the record's 116?
Yeah.
Or like in modern baseball?
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, they should win 100, but, like, I thought that last year and they only won 98. So,
okay.
yeah. It's just, it depends on...
I'd say like 109.
It depends on health and how much they care, you know.
Exactly.
And sometimes, too, like, you know, baseball records with the good teams, like, it swings based on, like, how well you do in close games. Like, because some of those games are just end up being coin flips. And that's a lot of games during the
No
season.
pun intended.
Ha!
Coin
How
flips.
about it? Heads up to everybody. This is News of Sal, but we will be doing this much fewer and farther between for the next handful of weeks. Maybe we'll ramp it up a little more during NBA playoffs, but yeah, not going to be a weekly podcast for a little while.
Yeah, because football season's over. Right?
Yeah, it's just hard to really get a lot of content when.
I mean, yeah, we could bullshit, but I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys necessarily want to hear it.
Yeah.
That's
So I don't know. Like you said, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, we'll kind of play it by ear. Maybe like do it based on what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, in
I'm cool with that.
in the sports world and
That's
all
fine.
that good stuff. We'll definitely be back for a MLB type.
Oh, yeah.
Prediction show, if you will.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably try and sneak one in too for to get ready for the NBA postseason too.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, buddy. Well, thank you all for watching, listening. Thank you for joining us, Sal.
Appreciate it.
Great
Thank you
having
for
you in the
having me.
Peanut Gallery.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.